Alright, there you go guys again. Now, I've actually sort of basically semi-built the full header without the collectors. What I've done is the two centre pipes I've used to run right through underneath, and just cut the other ones off where roughly where the collectors will work. Now this one's going to have to be pretty short. Yeah, so like that's probably going to merge in there somewhere, not far off the head, unfortunately, but not much you can do about that. You know, possibly you could run it back here and back underneath or back on the side, but that's sort of roughly where it's going to go. And the same with this one. I've cut that off. I don't know if you can see down about there somewhere. That's where that runs, and then I'd join that in and run them under the car. Let's give you a quick look under here, just roughly what I've done. So yeah, I've got them run down under here. Probably a bit long at this end, but no, that's just roughly to get a rough idea for clearance and whatever. So it's basically one header sort of designed. I'll sort of give you a bit of a shot from the front. Hold on a second. So yeah, you can get a rough idea there. So it's sort of it's not too far away from sort of roughly where it can be. You know, like when you get into proper steel tube, like you're not quite so restricted with the you know, with this sort of length and bits and pieces. Like I'll try and get some U-bends that are a similar sort of radius to these. So like, you know, they're not going to be sitting too far out or anything like that, you know. Like these are all these sort of things you can sort of tweak a little bit, but it's, you know, it's pretty close. So it's going to give me a good idea for how much, you know, pipe I'm going to use, and roughly how much, like how many bends I'm going to need, you know, like how many sort of 90-degree bends and 45-degree bends. So I've pretty much made this all out of 90s and 45s. So it's actually worked out quite good with buying those just 90s and 45s. You know, like there's probably, you know, you probably could have that a little bit more than 90 and sort of run it in a bit closer here and just things like that. But it's a real good guide, you know. Like I know I've got plenty of clearance there. And when I come to make up a jig, you know, I can do some measurements and just see how far away that starter is and bits and pieces like that. You know, I can build all that into the jig. So like I know if I'm getting too close into those sorts of places and things like that. So I'm going to have a bit of an add up now and just see how many bends and that I've got left. And I might start trying to mock up this other side and just see how that's going to fall and how it's going to run. You know, like I'm not sure, you know, how well I'm going to get this 4 into 2 into 1 sort of situation, but I'm going to try and get it as long as I can. You know, I'll see how I go on this other side. You know, like you can only see what you can do. You know, I can adjust things again, but that's not going to work out too bad. You know, with a bit of tweaking here and there, but that's given me a pretty good principle for length of pipe, how many bends, how many. That's really what I wanted to see, and that's given me a good representation of where things are going to be and where I've got to collect things and join them in. You know, like it's some quite good length sort of header pipes on the front. Okay, it's a bit of a shame that they're not quite so long on the back, but you know, when we come to make it in steel, like, you know, I might better tweak the situation a little bit and get a little bit more out of that back one. We'll see how we go, but you know, I haven't restricted myself for like getting in to get spark plugs or anything like that. You know, plug wise, you know, you can still get all your plugs out pretty easy. Actually, I think I've got a spark plug socket here somewhere. Oh, I did have. Oh, I'll have a look. Actually, hold on a minute. We'll just pause my camera and I'll go get a spark plug socket. Right, back again. So I've got a plug socket here, so you know you can still get into that easy enough. Like there's nothing, you know, I've got plenty of clearance here so it's going to work out good. You know, there's no reason why I can't get a spark plug out or anything like that. You know, that would be a pain in the butt, but no, that's gonna work out pretty nice. So I'll have a play with these next ones on the other side if I can. Like I said, I'll have a bit of a count up and see how many bends I've got, and just see if I've got enough to do what I want to do. But yeah, we'll get pretty close, and if I've got enough bends, I'll have a go at and try and make the other side, or at least start it anyway. So we'll get back to you later on, and we'll see how we get on. Cheers.